Welcome to the Love and Meaning Podcast, where inner work is a lifestyle. Welcome back to the Love and Meaning Podcast, and welcome to another lesson in love. I am Chrystelle. I am your host. And today it's so interesting that this love lesson came from a business scenario. And what happened was I was asked recently by a friend, what has really changed inside of me? What have I noticed with myself that's changed over the past year as an entrepreneur, and now feeling like things are starting to pop in the way that is really exciting to me. And I'm really starting to see the sprouts of the seeds that I've planted. And she asked me what's changed. And the very interesting thing that came out of my mouth was that what's changed is mostly my willingness to fail, my willingness to get hurt, and my willingness to be uncomfortable and disappointed. That is the major change. And then I thought and reflected on my dating experiences and the major switch that happened in me when I really started to focus on learning how to date effectively. What the heck am I really doing? Because I was very tired of having terrible outcomes, not having the results that I wanted. I wanted to find true and real lasting partnership, and that was not what I was discovering. And so I decided to really learn, become a student, and learn from those who have been doing it. And what I really took away from it, though I wasn't so conscious in the beginning, when I look back, the thing that made the big difference was a growth in my ability to emotionally take care of myself, to emotionally secure myself, hold myself, to be my own parent, really, of my heart. And therefore, my heart didn't feel like this very fragile thing being tossed around to men in dating scenarios. And therefore, my heart got to stay open. This actually allowed me to start attracting the kind of men that I was interested in, who matched my values. And it also allowed me to show myself how I could really show up in an authentic way. And that required vulnerability. It is the exact same thing in entrepreneurship. This is what I've discovered. It's the same thing. So much of where I've held myself back, so much of where I felt kind of stuck and stunted was actually in a subconscious sabotage to make sure that I don't get too hurt. Don't try to, don't put yourself out there too much. Don't really take the risks, or even emotional risks. I don't even mean financial. It's really like make myself vulnerable to rejection, failure, criticism. The big bad C word, make yourself available for that. Because at the same time, I made myself available for success, for recognition, for visibility. It's the same risk, though. To get those results, I have to open myself up to the risks of what was really, really scary. And that is the major lesson in love. It really does come down to how willing are we to get hurt. Now, here's the thing. When I think back to the version of me that didn't have a willingness to get hurt, was very guarded, was very unafraid of being vulnerable, was very fragile, and felt very susceptible, very much able to be hurt by a man or, in revealing myself and putting myself out there in terms of business. That version of me still got hurt. But the interesting thing is that in thinking that I wasn't making that a possibility, it is so much worse having to deal with that pain, having to deal with that pain with no tools to be able to care for myself is far worse, and that actually is what the big danger is. So we can do so many things to try to protect ourselves. We can do so much to try to shield ourselves. So much so that many of us completely isolate ourselves. I am a pretty avoidant person, and so it is not a coincidence that I was single for 6 years. Like I was pretty much in hiding, and it did the job of really lessening the potential for me to have my feelings hurt. But every single time I did open myself up and kind of go there, I almost further pushed myself back in because the pain was so bad and I still had no tools. So we don't actually help ourselves by not building this muscle, this muscle of being able to hold discomfort, hold pain, and understand that it is just a natural part of life. I think a lot of times the message that we get in childhood, I think even especially when we have like great childhoods, is, that you can get from your parents. I know that I definitely got this from my mom to a certain degree, but they just tried to protect us so much. She tried to shield my sibling and I so much from hurt, but was unable to because that's not how life goes. And the thing is that every single time I got hurt, I thought something had gone very, very wrong. Nothing had gone very, very wrong. I just got hurt. And that's a part of a human experience. So this lesson in love is our success in the love that we seek in our lives and in any ambitions in our lives is directly correlated to our ability to allow ourselves to fail, to get hurt, to get disappointed, to be open to criticism, ridicule, whatever it is. But the key is that when we do the work, this is what inner work is all about. We build tools to be able to hold ourselves in that and be okay. And nothing has gone wrong. And it is okay to feel pain. And we grow through every single one of those experiences. And not only do we grow in maturity, but we really do grow our hearts. Every pain, hurt that I've been through, now that I have tools, also has led to a greater amount of compassion inside of me. Compassion for myself and compassion for other human beings. And so it's a beautiful part of life, allowing ourselves to do the scary thing and get hurt and put ourselves out there and be vulnerable and to fall down, dust ourselves off and get back up. The key is to build the tools to be able to support yourself in that and love yourself through that so that you can receive all the love that you're looking for in this life. And that's it. Short and sweet. How much are you truly open to or not open to? What's uncomfortable so that you can grow. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.